Hello, this is Olga Jevtich. I'm Miss Virginia Senior America 2003, and this is Fashion Notes. You are here for a special treat. We always have interesting guests, and every time we try to outdo each guest. So this time we have, I have introduced you to my guest, and also to see all these beautiful things that she makes. Very extremely talented, multi-talented lady. Her name is Anne-Marie Feld. She's on left of me, and I would like to welcome her to our program and to thank her for coming today and to show us her multiple creation, what she is doing. Actually, Anne-Marie, welcome, and I'm really happy that you came today. I found Anne-Marie's work at the Torpedo Factory. I'm sure you remember, every time I would say, look for the artist, they are just about everywhere. I found her at the Torpedo Factory, and she had her work there, so I called her up, and she was in Switzerland. She didn't answer right away because she's Swiss. And she called me back. I was so happy to hear from her. And so we made arrangements. So she brought her beautiful, beautiful things, and she's going to tell us all about it. And also, we have a model in the house, so you will see how actually things look on the real model. And I don't know where to start for her because she does many, many things. And in front of us, as you can see, we have a beautiful handbags that she combined different color and different design. And she told me also that she was a craft teacher in Switzerland, and she was also a graphic designer when she came to this country. And she made something, I had to ask her. She made something first for herself, and then everybody was asking, where did you buy it? Because this is a unique. What she is doing is just a one-of-a-kind craft. So, Anne-Marie, tell us, how did you start with leather? I think this is a very difficult thing to do because, you have to, and also the leather smells so good here in the house. I think it's better than any perfume you can wear it. And tell us, how did you start working with the leather? Because, I'm sure it's not easy. She has an industrial machine, because you cannot do this, leather with just a regular machine. And is this the first thing you start with the crafts, or how did you start in the craft business, first of all?
I was working for a short time as a teacher, a crafts teacher in Switzerland. Then when I came to the United States, I just made my own creations every so often because I liked unusual items.
And I'm sure people ask you, where did you buy it?
That's correct. That's correct. And so
this is how your business was born.
Right. And so a friend of mine said, just do it and sell it off your body while you're walking around when they ask you. When I started with leather, it was like really a coincidence because I found a really neat piece of leather, and what I liked about this is the rough edges on the leather. I was not interested in just cutting squares out, but I found it really inspiring when I played around with a piece of leather, and then it just made a purse. It just created almost by itself. The material dictated what would happen with it. And so I started to do that, and I always treated it with different layers, and I like colors that are unusual color combinations, and that's how I started off.
Not just the colors, that she incorporates different handles. For example, this one in front of me, different handle and different clasp, here. So they're all different, one of a kind. If you have one of her things, you make sure that nobody else in the world has it, only you, which makes it absolutely very special. Tell us about, you have so many things to show you. I don't know which, item we should show you first, and also the model will show you, the jackets, not just. And I asked her, what does she do with the leftover little pieces, when you cut the garment? I'm sure you have so many leftover pieces. And then she said she's using on the purses, so the purses looks, very interesting. And tell us, this is a combination on red, cut pink, reddish, gray, and black. This is such a beautiful combination. And inside, do you use lining inside?
On most of the purses, I've used lining. Now, when you ask about every purse, at the back of the purse is as important to me as the front.
Oh, absolutely,
because
it's so practical. You can put your glasses and keys. I could never find in my purse. Everything, mixed together. It's very difficult to find. And this is a good thing, you put your sunglasses, you don't have to open the whole purse or ticket or something. So this is good to have something on the side. I like that very much.
And then I like to make them practical. They have to be usable. So in this case, this purse, you have a case here, and then you have a case here. So you have a divider.
On the back.
Right. And when you talk about, this happened not to be lined, but for example, this purse here, this is lined.
Do you use leather as a lining?
Yeah. So the top is leather, but then the bottom of the purse here is silk, and they all have a pocket.
A pocket, of
right.
course. You need a
and
pocket
here
to
put
your
again,
cell phone or credit card,
and
it's very, very interesting. And also she makes belts too. There are belts, and I like how do you buckle the belt. It's very easy, and also you can adjust it to the, your waist. Show us how you can, open up.
I found this this clasp for the belt, and I actually, this is a linchpin. This is from a tractor or a machine, but it solves my problem of making a belt adjustable. So all you do, you open like this, and then you pull the belt to the size you want.
Oh, I see.
You go back in.
So it's one size fits all.
And then this
what else can you ask for the beautiful belt?
Holds it together. And also, I believe, here is my idea of a belt for any woman in any size. I think if you take a belt and just make it straight, you cut somebody visually in half. But if you put, this is, of course, is a piece that holds my belt together, but it also becomes a decorative piece. And now, since it's not just a strip that cuts you, it becomes almost a piece of art, and then it's much more flattering, even if it's on a little bit a more generous size.
And also, can you use this to put something in, or this is just a decorative thing?
This, on this belt, it's decorative, but I can show you, I have a line of belts that same idea with the opening and to adjust it. But this one has a purse attached to it. And it has
so you have free hands. When you're wearing something like that, your hands are free to do whatever, go shopping and look the things. You don't have to worry about, reaching to your purse, which is a very practical thing to do. And also it's very decorative. It looks, any outfit could look much better, with something like that on. And you combine different color of leftover, I imagine, leather that she's using. She has a small left, so nothing is wasted, which is wonderful. Everything, every piece of leather is used for something else, which is unbelievable. Okay, now we are going to have a model. She is going to show you the jacket that she's wearing, not just the jacket, but the purse and also surprise big belt. The jacket is a gray leather, and which is an interesting asymmetrical design, also asymmetrical around the neck and also on the bottom. And as she said before, she like uneven ends of the leather, so it looks much more interesting than if you cut it just straight, and much extraordinary. And what is interesting also that she has a button, which is that she glued 3 interesting pieces of small object together, and they look, absolutely fantastic on it. It's like a very practical and also very interesting. It looks beautiful. Thank you very much. She's going to be back, but we have more purses to talk about. You have one on the end which comes, you know, in different colors, and which she incorporated like a small piece of leather in different design in front. And she said she makes also the back to be very interesting and practical also, that you can put in. And does this one has a nice inside lining?
Yes, this is line 2.
So you can put, you know, the...
Yeah. And maybe what I should point out on this one, I got inspired by an artist, a fine artist, a painter. She invited me to do a show with her, and she gave me some leftover paintings. And I started a line of purses with the handles. They're in the back here. Maybe we can see them later. The backs, the handle is a paintbrush, and parts of her painting are incorporated. And
what is the name of the lady's artist?
It's Tori Coils, and she is also at the Torpedo Factory, and it was a really fun project, but most of all, it pushed me in a totally different direction and a different approach to designing a purse. So I have this line of purses that wear with pieces of art.
I see. And this red and black is all very, you know, nice, always good combination. Red and black is really beautiful combination always that she put, you know, everything is very irregular, which makes most interesting design. This is a bag. Yeah, this is a bag. So you can really wear it on both sides because they're all, both sides are totally finished and totally different. And this is a pocket. I like this, that you can put your glasses and keys, maybe some tickets, so you don't have to open your purse to look for it. I know I have always problem to find things in my purse because they're all over the place. And this is much more organized, and she has her beautiful label inside, so which makes it really extremely beautiful. And also she's, you know, practical to use all her leftover leather. And when do you work usually the best? In the morning, evening, when you get most inspiration to do your work?
I usually work early in the morning through the day, but I'm most productive, like I would say, in the mornings.
So you're a morning person, you get up probably early?
Right. But where I really get inspired is when I'm listening to music. And most of all, when I go to a concert or live music, I'm always having my ideas just seem to come, and it's really interesting.
For example, when you start working on any purse or any belt or anything, when you start working, do you have any idea what is going to be? Or this is just as you go, it just turn that way?
It's usual. On this purse, I know I want to make this shape. This is the only shape that I make more than one purse in a shape. But on all my other purses, I sort of play around with my leathers like I would paint. It's almost like doing a painting, and while I put the layers on top
and also,
the
do
colors.
you sketch it first or not?
No.
You never sketch it. You just flow from one thing to the other. Whatever you feel like it, you just go. I think our model is ready. Let's see what she is going to wear right now. Anne-Marie, please tell us, what is this? What is this?
The top that she's wearing is a leather jacket. It's a little bit more festive and a little bit more formal. It's dark blue and a little bit looser fitting. I wanted to have it short and uneven. And there again, you see the button that's stacked, the different buttons that become like a decoration, but it's also for clothing. And the purse that...
this is most unusual purse, and with the handle is most unusual, pointed to the camera. You know, how do you get the handle the way it is? Do you make it, or do you find something like that?
I go to the tractor store. It's my favorite store. and this is it's part of a tool. I don't know exactly what they do with it, but I like it as a purse handle.
And also, she has an interesting back, and also the front is different. So it's usable on both sides, you know.
And the front that piece is carp. That's fish. That greenish blue decoration, because I like to work.
Do they come in
with
different colors? This.
Yeah, sometimes I have to look around what I find, you know, something unusual.
If you, for example, see somebody and they said, "Oh, I love this purse, but I think can you do it in, let's say, red color? Can you do it or not? Or this is something you just do it, you like it or not?"
I do every so often. I do custom work for some of my customers, but usually I cannot recreate exactly the same. I can make another purse with the handle like this in a similar shape.
But it will be a little different.
It will be a little bit different.
Oh, but this is what the one of a kind is, you know. If you want one of a kind, this is, you know, what it is. If she feels like doing, and this is combination on different textures, same color.
Correct.
Which is the texture gray, and inside, what is the color inside? Do you have a contrasting color inside as a lining inside, or you try to match it?
Sometimes the bottom part has a yellow, and the top I still use the greenish blue leather to line it. And I call this is a very interesting color. I call this my ocean color, because it seems to me it sort of moves with greens or blues. It changes a little bit. I think it's a very interesting leather color.
Yes, it's really extraordinary. And I'm very fascinated by the handle, which really is most unusual. I've never seen anything like that. And it's very, very interesting, and you can see that, you know, you cannot just buy in your neighborhood store anything like that. It is totally different, you know, and artistically done, especially if you wear with her jacket, which is a, you know, very high fashion that you can wear with your evening gown, or you can wear it with your jeans, and even don't need any jewelry, because you have an absolutely beautiful button there, which is like a button, and also it's decorative. You know, looks very, very stylish. So, what are you planning? Thank you. What are you planning to do next? All artists have some plans, you know, to do something different every time because you expire. But paintings or music or, you know, whatever. And you know, I'm sure you are thinking about some next project, because she is not just making leather, she does work with the fabrics, which are wonderful, you know, things to do. And so what will be your next project? Do you have any idea? Are you going to just continue to do what you are doing? But I'm sure every artist, you know, just think about that, you know, there's something else that, you know, is the next project.
Yes, I do have a project I'm working on, and that is I'm designing a purse that incorporates poetry. And I'm working on some prototypes of it, and I think it will be really nice. I just need to, I have the idea, I have some prototypes, but then usually I have to work on it until I can show it to somebody. But I think it's a pretty interesting idea, and I would also, if it works out, I would also like to make that custom make, that you could give me your copy that I would incorporate with the purse.
It is also with the leather, different kind with the leathers?
Yes, it's still leather, and it has some fabric lining with it.
Is there any leather that's softer than the other one, you know, and also the suede is a little different? Do you work with suede also, or just with leather?
I work with suede every so often, but not this often, because I think this, some of the suede and purses, you need to treat it a little bit more.
They're not practical, you think, you know, because they can stain easily?
A little bit, you know, and also I found sometimes suede is a little bit harder to sew.
Is that right? I thought it was softer, easier to sew.
Of course, I shouldn't make that statement like that, because you could have really thinner suede or thicker suede. I was thinking more of suede that would give me the body to make purses with. But of course, I'm using a lot of cow hides. I use some sheep, and sometimes some goat. I don't do any exotic animals and so on. But and the interesting part is, every piece of leather is different. Even if I order,
because the thickness is different.
Right. And so you might just get a piece of leather that's just wonderful to work with, and next time it's just a little bit harder to work with, because it might be the same thickness, but it might be a little bit stiffer. Or just different treated. But then I think that's the fun of it. So.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course. You know, it's a challenging. And the I noticed that edges are not like a finish, because this is, you know, you just cut it and that's it. Did you make it, for example, pattern to cut to cut the leather? Because, you know, once you cut, this is it. You know, you have to be careful, you know, how you're cutting, or you're just experienced that you don't need anything. You just and here it is.
For this one here, I have a pattern, but otherwise here, I use one of these knives that you just cut.
So you do freehand?
So I just
this is
cut
very
it
impressive to have a freehand and just cut some very expensive, you know, fiber that you have, for example, you know, to do freehand. I think this is something to be admired for. I don't know. I'm really very, very impressed how you're doing. And do you sometimes make a sketch before you start working? Or you just, you know, in your mind, you have something that you are dreaming of and would like, you know, to realize?
Sometimes I do make a sketch when I have some ideas. And for example, the ones with the handles, we just saw the metal handles. I tried different shapes also to play with. Like I had like a half circle, and I tried different shapes, and I do sketch that out, and then I cut it.
I see. Yep. I think, I don't know if the camera can zoom on the purses that she may have on the back, because they are also very unique and different colors, so you can have better idea about her work. And also you didn't bring today, but she does also jewelry. And what kind of material do you use to make jewelry?
On the jewelry, I did a limited edition series that I called the Swan Lake series. And I took pieces of glass and sandwiched in between parts of the program of Swan Lake, the ballet, and some feathers, and then I put it all together with fishing line. I crocheted it around with fishing line, so it was kind of floating around your neck.
So this is actually complementary for your, you know, leather jackets or leather, you know. So as you can see, how many interesting and talented artists we have in our area. They're all different, and that's why I like to go to attend, you know, craft shows, and also, you know, Torpedo Factory is also full of interesting artists. They do not just clothing, they do sculpture, they do painting, and it's so much inspiring and good to see. And I just want to tell you also that our show you can see on YouTube, not all of them, some of them. If you type on Google Olga Jevtich Fashion Notes, you will see some of our shows, and also, you know, every time we have a very, very interesting artist from our area. And as you can see today, we have Anne-Marie, who brought her beautiful things, you know, to show you, and they're unbelievable. You know, her crafts, and she's full of idea to do much more, you know, than, you know, she showed us today. Of course, she couldn't, you know, bring us everything, but I'm so happy you turned on today. And thank you for watching. This is Olga Jevtich reporting for Fashion Notes. Till next time, bye-bye. And I hope, you know, you patronize and turn on again for a wonderful, wonderful artist from our area. I'm so happy that you could come today and show us all this. I feel like I'm in the art world today with all these beautiful, beautiful things that you brought. And I hope, you know, to see you next time with another exciting things in your life. And it was good. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having
me. It was really,
me.
you know, very fascinating, and I'm sure our audience would love your work. And good luck with your next adventure. And